Hello, ladies. Happy Sunday. So we're now on day 4 of the 5-day countdown to the new year. I can't believe New Year's is right around the corner. It's coming up so fast. But so I just wanted to jump on here. So today we're doing a continuation of our exercises 2 and 3. And today we're actually going to use our worksheet as we continue with this exercise. So make sure you have, your pie from day 2, which is going to be where you are at right now. Make sure you have your pie from day 3, which is where you want to be spending your time, and the aspects in your life. And then I put the link for the download. If you did not get the email, there was a link in the email this morning, but I also put it in the kind of title comment for this video too. You can go ahead and click the link and get the download for the worksheet for today, and that way you can get started. So we're going to go through working through the worksheet. All right, so we are kind of taking day 2, day 3, now we're moving to day 4, and we're putting it all together. So every day is kind of building on itself. So today now is about really starting to make a plan, and a plan that's going to have action steps. So if you go ahead and take the worksheet that you downloaded, in this worksheet you can print as many copies as you need to. There's only room for 2 aspects from your pie on the worksheet, but so you can make, like for me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, go ahead and make 3 copies, or however many, print as many copies as you need to as you work through this plan. Let me see, I wish there was a way to share a picture. Let's see what Facebook will let me do. Nope. Okay. Let me see if I can grab a really quick picture. So in case you have not downloaded the worksheet yet, you can see what I'm talking about as we work through it today. And I hope you ladies have some fun, exciting plans for tomorrow, for New Year's Eve, to ring in the new year. I'm really excited personally for 2019. I think this year is going to be amazing. Sorry, this take me just a second. Sorry, ladies. This is our worksheet. All right, so I'm going to try to post. Nope, won't let me do a picture either. All right, we're going to have to wait till I'm not live. Sorry. Hopefully you've gotten your worksheet. All right, so the way that this worksheet is broken out, it is now going to help you capture and start to plug in the pieces of this, which actually, I'm going to try this really fast. I'm so sorry, ladies. Bear with me for just 1 second. There we go. I didn't think about not being able to show you the worksheet before I jumped on this morning. Okay, so what you're going to do when you pull up your worksheet, so what it's going to look like is you're going to have a big center box, and it is going to be like the dark box is going to kind of be in the center. You're going to have your graphs. That is where you're going to put in the aspect of your life. So when you go ahead and grab your pie that we have been working on, that is where you're now going to go ahead and grab whatever the main name of the different aspects is going to be. So like for me, I would start with the biggest aspect, so whatever's taking up the majority of your time for right now. And so you're going to start with the right now pie to start with. So you'll go through, you'll take your worksheet, and you're going to start with where you are right now. So you'll put in like work and then currently right now. So that is where not only you're going to look at what time you're spending, now you're going to take a little bit of time to go a little more in depth. So if you're spending 50% of your time focused on work, what are you doing? So like what are you taking the time to be doing? So, is it that you accept phone calls? So you're on the phone. Do you work from home? Do you go to the office? What hours? What are you focused on? What are you doing? When you leave and go home, are you still kind of working? Are you checking emails? Really kind of think through and take a minute to fill that out with every aspect that you are spending in that area. So I'll just share and be honest and kind of open myself up a little bit. So for me, when I was spending, 85% of my time focused on work, when I did this exercise and I started to actually look and map out, where am I spending majority of that time? Because I'm focused on work, 80 or 85% of my pie. And that's where I was last year. My work was about 80 or 85% of my pie was focused on work. Well, so then I started to notice, because I had my own business, I worked for myself. Then I started to notice kind of what my habits were. So yes, I would have hours that I actually spent working at the barn. And so there were actual scheduled hours of work, so many hours I did lessons, so many hours I was training horses, so I had that pieces. But then I also noticed, then I was spending time doing emails. I was spending time doing registration for horse shows. I was spending time with clients on the phone a lot. And that was something that I started to notice for me when I started to work through this is, so where were all these extra hours coming in that I was spending so much extra focused time working, even though I wasn't necessarily, quote unquote, at work. So take that time, take a minute and really kind of map out what you do in that aspect. So right now where you're at, again, what are you spending your time doing? So is it, you're on the phone? Do you have to communicate with clients? Do you have to communicate with people that you work with? Is that you're spending time emailing? You have to jump on to check stuff, on your computer. How many hours are you actually spending in the office, driving, all those different things. And so just take a second as you're working through this and really try to kind of get clear with that so that you can really see where you're spending your time and your focus. So then you'll move, so you're starting on the left side, and then you're going to go ahead and move your way to the right. And so that's where you're going to grab your how I want and where I want to get to. So this is going to be your want. This is where you want to get to, the amount of time you want to be spending on different things. So that is what you're going to fill in next. So again, take the time to think through what would it look like? How much time would you be spending? So, I said we'll start with work. So how much time would you be spending with work? What would that look like? Would it be, okay, I go to work from 8 to 5, and then when I leave and I get home, I don't have to do anything else. I'm not going to answer emails. I'm not going to talk to people. I'm not going to have to do research. Whatever it may be, start to really kind of get focused on what now out of your second pie and your percentage, what does that look like? So what are you doing? What are you doing every day? What are you doing every week? What does that look like in a month? So that way you can start to kind of build the pieces. So then again, we're working from left to right. So then the next thing that we're going to get to is what steps I can take to get from there to here. So again, what steps can you take? So if you started with the left side, which is currently where you are right now you know where you want to get to, kind of have that outline of what that would look like, where you're spending your time. So what are some steps that I can take to get from there to here? So what would it take for you to get from, an example, 85% of your time spent working and get to 50% of your time spent on work? So, if you're spending a lot of time answering text messages, answering phone calls, having to communicate back and forth with clients, having to communicate back and forth with maybe coworkers, come home and you're checking your emails for work, different things like that. That's where you're going to start to now make those steps. So the step to get from where you currently are to where you want to get to. Like for me, it was actually setting more business hours so that I would only answer the phone or call people back from set hours. And after a certain time, unless it was an absolute dire emergency, I wouldn't answer the phone. I wouldn't call clients back. And so it was kind of starting to set boundaries and parameters. But I knew by taking those steps that then what that did is it started to cut back that extra percentage. So I was able to kind of take that back to cut back to 50%. Then one of the biggest parts, if you ask me, is the far right column, which is how I will feel once I change things. And that's something that is really good to know, to think about. What is it going to feel like when you have more time? What is it going to feel like when you know you only are going to be working, 50% of the time? What does it feel like to be able to know after 5 o'clock, I won't talk to clients, I won't interact with coworkers, I'm not going to check emails? What is it going to feel like to all of a sudden have more freedom by making those changes and doing those steps? So to me, that is a really important piece and something for you to really make sure that you're getting clear on as you work through this worksheet. So then you'll go ahead and you're going to do that same thing over and over again for every aspect that came out of your pie. So you're going to start on the left side. You're going to start with where you are now. Then you're going to pull out of the pie where you want to get to. So, how much time you're going to be spending, what the time looks like that you're spending, then what steps that you need to do to get from there to here. And then what's it going to feel like when things change and things are different? That's another big piece. You want to know, how are things going to be better so that then it's easier to put in the effort and the time and to want to make the changes to get from there to where you want to get to. So I hope that helps. That was today's super quick class on today's exercise. And again, if you haven't grabbed the download, it's in the link above, and I'll put it again in the link below, so you can grab that and work through it, so you kind of know what I'm talking about as you work through this video. So happy Sunday, ladies, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 10. Keep an eye out for your email at 8. And I know we're getting close to the new year, so I look forward to seeing you ladies tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. right here live on our Facebook. Have a wonderful Sunday, ladies. Thank you.